So the next example asks us to solve this matrix equation. Notice that my variable matrix, the matrix that we see here, this is not a square matrix, so this can happen as well. Now, let me actually first convert this back into the original system of equations. If I write this as a system of equations, so if I multiply the matrix on the left-hand side, I'm gonna get, let me see, 1w plus 0x plus 0y plus 1z is gonna equal to 5. So by the way, I'm gonna use American pronunciation here. So I'm gonna pronounce this as a c. So I'm gonna have, let me see, w plus z is gonna equal to 5. My second equation is gonna be 0w plus 1x plus 0y plus 3z is gonna equal to 0. So I'm gonna get x plus 3z is gonna equal to 0. And the last one I'm gonna get, let me see, this is just y plus 8z. Y plus 8z is gonna equal to negative 4. Okay, so this matrix equation is the same as this tree system of equations. Now, if I want a solution to this tree equation, notice that I can actually just let my variable c here be anything. This variable c, it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 5, it can be whatever value I want it to be. Because whatever the z is, I can find the value for w, x, and y accordingly. So my z can be anything. For whatever z is, my w is just gonna equal to 5 minus z. My x is gonna equal to just minus 3z. And my y is gonna just equal to negative 4 minus 8z. So then if I were to write out the general solutions to this matrix equation, I'm gonna have that my w, x, y, z is gonna just equal to, let me see, so my w is 5 minus z, and then negative 3z, and then negative 4 minus 8z. And then my z can be anything. In particular, the technical term for this z is that this is called a free variable. So as the name suggests, it is called free variable because, well, it is free, it can be anything. It has the freedom to be whatever it wants. But once I have the value for c, then I can find the value for w and x and y. Notice how this problem is actually not that hard, and this is actually because the matrix that we have here, this is actually, this matrix make our life quite simple. This kind of matrix actually has a name. It is called reduced row echelon form. So this one is called reduced row echelon form. Whenever my matrix here is in reduced row echelon form, then that's gonna make my life simple. I can find the solutions to my equation quite easily like this. So the goal for using the Gaussian elimination to solve the system of equations that we have seen earlier is to reduce the matrix that we have into this form. Now, the properties for the matrix in the row echelon form is that if I look into each row of my matrix, so I'm gonna look into each row of my matrix, in each row, there might be a bunch of 0, but after a bunch of 0, the first thing that I'm gonna see is that I'm gonna see a 1. So this one is called a leading one. So in each row, if I look from left to right, I'm gonna see a bunch of 0, but then the first number that I see is going to be number 1. And then the same down here. So there could be a bunch of 0. But then the first thing that I will see is going to be a 1. And it could be the case that all the numbers could be 0 as well. So all this guy can also be 0. So the 1 here, so you can kind of see each blue bar that we have here is going to get shorter and shorter. So that is what happens here. So this guy is my leading one. Let me actually just highlight that. This is my leading one, this is my leading one, and this is my leading one. And so my blue bar, if I go from top to bottom, it's going to get shorter and shorter. And also, if I look at each of the leading one, all the numbers above and below the leading one are going to be 0. So all the numbers above and below this leading one is going to be 0. So all these guys have to be 0. Wait, I don't have 2 0 here. Okay, so this should be just 1 0. Okay, so this is the properties of the matrix to be in reduced row echelon form. Notice how if we look at the matrix in the last example, this last guy that we see here, this is also already in reduced row echelon form. So my 2 bar look like this. My 2 bars look like this, and here is my leading one, and here is another leading one.